Hey, welcome to the four-way split. Hey, welcome to the four-way split. It's been a long time, guys.
It has.
It's been a long time.
It has.
I'm Craig,
I'm Lincoln.
I'm Ruski.
and we're missing one of the four-way split. Jared, he's in Tar Heel country. We don't know why, really.
I think he's sitting somewhere by his RV,
Yeah, probably.
stoking a fire.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. He's in Tar Heel country, and we're a little mad at him, but that's okay. He'll send in an update via Zoom or something.
Right.
Yeah.
He's very techie.
We may need to use Google Translator for that because
Yeah,
I
we
think
may.
Jared has started consuming adult libations some time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So that'll come at you later. But guys, how's things been going?
Well, great way to start the episode. I think I'm going to initiate it by a round of day games. Day game. It's an easy conversation starter, and it's where we talk about the best and worst part of our days.
Okay.
So, best part of my day today. I woke up, I went outside, I sat down, and I had a cup of fully loaded coffee. And that's something special because I had the forethought to buy some Keurig cup fills for my Keurig because my wife has determined that we only drink half-calf coffee. And it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I don't get the point in that.
Right.
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
You have to drink twice
Yeah.
as much, or she makes it twice as strong. And why don't we just buy fully caffeinated? I'm not sure
Right.
about this. She's a woman. She does all kinds of things based on
Maybe
that
it's
prerogative.
A diet. Maybe it's a diet thing.
Right. Could be.
Right.
But I drank fully loaded coffee, had a chance to wake up, and listen to the birds sing as the sun tracked slowly past the main ridge of my house and lit my sitting area. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, very relaxing. The worst part of my day was getting here. I took a nap knowing that we were going to do a podcast because I turned 50 this year. So when you know you're going to be up late in
Wait,
the
you've
evening,
had time to nap today?
Yeah.
Motown?
His daughter graduated,
My
by
daughter
the way,
graduated today.
and he had time for a nap.
I had time for a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because sitting in the bleachers like that and watching the live recaps, listen, man, if you go to a big school, there's like 4 lines of kids, and there's somebody giving you a quick handshake, and you're out the door. But when your graduating class is 62 kids, you go back to Genesis chapter 1 of every kid, and you see all the pictures. So we sat through that, and anyway, it just took it out of me. And then we had to go to
Were
graduation.
you emotional?
Yeah, I was
It's good.
yeah.
It's the last one out of the
Right.
house.
Last one.
Yes,
Right.
it
Yeah,
is.
he graduated the last one out of the
Graduated
house.
the last
Link.
one.
Yeah.
Big link.
So
Yeah,
I'm a little
yeah.
Are you going to be an
emotional.
empty nester, Link?
Well, I'm thinking about there's going to be a lot of 3-day weekends this, first year out. And so I do that. I go to, a couple of graduation parties, right after that. Just bang, bang, bang. And then I get home and, I'm stirring around and doing other things. And anyway, so I knew I was going to come here. So I took a nap and I woke up. And somehow, even though I woke up like a half an hour before I even had to leave the house, I still showed up here a half an hour late. Because I got behind every slow person on the road. Like every guy.
It's planting season,
And
man.
you're only 15 minutes away.
Yeah, and I'm only 15 minutes.
Yeah, we're in the Midwest. It's
Yeah.
planting season.
Right.
So
Combine.
every place you go, you have to kind of plan.
Yeah, right. I mean, because there could be a tractor or a combine on the road. In this particular case, I think that the guy in front of me knew somebody. I think it was the old guy that the Bureau of Motor Vehicle employee, just doesn't have the courage to say you really shouldn't drive. You missed so many of those letters. How do you make an F a G, man? But you did. But I have a grandpa, and you're somebody's grandpa.
We're going to let it slide this time.
Yeah, and we're just going to let you go.
Yeah. Bruce, how about you?
Oh, dang. So, I don't know that I have I can't think that I have a bad moment from today. Woke up, it was baseball day, had a doubleheader of Milan.
You have 2 boys. One's going in
Two boys.
freshman
Oh,
year.
yeah, well, that is, so I'm going to get the new life of having a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've had one go. You've had a few go. But you got a new one going. So we're
Going to high school, yep.
We're in the same boat there. I'm there for the first time. Freshman, yes, and I'm gonna have a 6th grader, yes, but the whole freshman thing. So that's a big deal. And
Man, I really hope that freshman doesn't like get into the things that you did as in high school. Man,
Well, that may
I
require
know
some self-defense.
I know you from high school.
hey, I played. Well, I mean, is playing sports a bad thing?
Oh, okay. Oh,
Right?
oh, yeah, just the sports,
I mean, all the
Yeah.
sports
Yeah.
and
Just-
rigorous
just
practice
Just a
sessions.
sports junkie. I mean, is that a bad thing?
And
I mean, he's on a good start. I mean, he's had like
Right.
basketball every day this week.
Yes.
I mean, he'll be
Yes.
having soccer soon.
Yes. Just the all-American kid. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
But if he's like you'll need to get him some anti-inflammatory kind of balm or something, because those teenage girls are going to be coming at him, and he's got to learn. You got to teach him the straight arm.
The straight
Yeah,
arm.
right,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
straight
Down the
arm.
hallway.
The
Yeah.
stiff arm. The
Yeah.
the Heisman.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Heisman
yeah. Sally.
pose. Heisman pose.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't say that I had a bad moment today.
Yeah.
It was a
Man.
beautiful day for me.
Like, that's exceptional, because if the worst part of your day was the least good moment, then the sun is shining on you, my friend.
I've had a great conversation texting,
Yep.
so that's been good. That's been fun.
Yes, we understand that you have had some developments in your personal life, and that these text messages you speak of have been quite the source of
Good vibrations.
good vibrations.
Yeah.
Good vibrations.
Yeah, good
Marky
vibrations.
Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Yes, sir.
Now, we all know
Best
that
and worst
Craig
part of the
only has-
day. Yeah, for me, I will say, best part of the day, morning. Morning was great.
Yeah.
You know, sun was shining. Came out and planted some flowers, did some stuff in the yard. Went to graduation today. Saw some great kids graduate from high school. Worst part of the day is I have an old vehicle that literally, guys, is falling apart around me. Each time I drive it, something else falls apart.
Right.
So, you know, it's considered a luxury vehicle
Right.
that I paid minimum price for.
Right.
It's a 2008, and I just got it back today from the repair guy. He fixed the window. I was driving into town today to get some extra stuff at Home Depot, and all of a sudden, just bam, it started making this horrible noise.
Wow.
Like, I wondered if I was driving on the rim.
Interesting.
And I pulled over into a parking lot. Actually, the skid plate, heat plate, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you're
Was
quite the
falling-
mechanic, so you love this.
Huh?
And you're quite the mechanic. So you
Oh,
loved all
yeah,
this.
yeah. I know all things cars. I got out, looked underneath. The heat plate, skid plate was falling off.
Oh,
It
that's
was
good.
being held up by one screw.
But you're on your way to Home Depot.
So D-Sizz brought me the tools I needed. I took it the rest of the way off, threw it in the back of the car, and I said, I'm going on.
Right. And how often are you even off road? I mean, do you really need that skid plate?
I don't need it.
That brush
No,
guard?
no,
Really?
no.
So-
I don't need it.
But if I understand you correctly from conversation earlier, the skid plate was like the end of your. Now I know this wasn't today, but the skid plate was today, right?
It was
That all
today. Yeah.
Well,
4:00, 4:30.
do you mind,
four,
do you mind
yeah.
talking about the blanket story from a couple nights ago?
Oh, a couple nights ago, yeah. So the window, the driver's side window, has its own mind, and so it decides to sometimes go off track. And I figured out that if I just slam the door, it'll get back on track. Had some embarrassing moments with that. The other night, when storms were rolling in a parking lot, 15 miles away from home, the window just decided not to start going up at all. Slamming the door, slamming the door, slamming the door. Finally, I slammed the door another time, and the handle came off in my hand.
Wow, man.
It broke. It broke off in my hand. So,
You're writing your own sitcom at this point.
oh, it's incredible. Luxury vehicle, right?
Right.
So I'm holding the handle, the inside handle of the door in my hand, as the motor
Inside handle.
inside handle. I'm holding.
I thought you're like outside handle.
No,
inside.
I'm
handle.
sitting in the car, slamming the door, trying to get the window to go back on
Okay.
track, to
Yeah.
go back up,
Yeah.
as the motor is just spinning, and the
listen.
window's not coming back up. So,
Continue.
like I can see the storm
Yeah.
clouds
Right.
rolling in.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
any minute it's gonna.
And the anxiety is building.
Well, not really, because at that point I'm just like, it's
you've
just
accepted
funny.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's how
It's just
going
funny.
Crazy.
Like at that point, I'm texting my wife and I'm saying, "Hey, this is just hilarious."
Right.
At this point, because we know that this vehicle just every
Yeah.
time you drive it, something's gonna happen.
Right.
So we're sitting in the parking lot, myself and my daughter. My daughter's like, "You got to be kidding me!" I'm holding the handle that just broke off
Right.
as I'm trying to get the window back on track.
Wouldn't this have been a great moment though, if like you were driving her to school on her first day of school,
No.
and you're holding the handle, and I mean, would she have been embarrassed? And all, I mean,
Well, I don't
you know,
know. She wouldn't be.
I think
Yeah.
it's the moment that Craig decides that this is Kendra's first car. He's gonna go get another one.
yeah, right.
So last night we ordered a car.
Yeah.
So I get the car back today. The window's fixed. The window goes up faster than it's ever gone up now.
Yeah.
I'm driving it at 3:00 today into town to Home Depot to get some more stuff, and the car starts making this horrible sound. Like I'm playing the radio pretty loudly, and it just starts screeching.
But now we're coming back to the skid.
Oh, I'm back.
skid-
Yeah, yeah,
Now you're
yeah.
back. Now
So
we're
now the
present
skid plate
tense.
is coming off after I get the car back from the mechanic today.
Right.
So
Well, I've got
something else falls apart on the vehicle.
But when
So-
you pulled the handle the other night, then you had to leave and go in the building, and you threw the blanket over the window.
Oh, I put a blanket on the window, a pink blanket, no less,
now listen.
a pink blanket, and it poured, and then we drove home, and it poured more as the window. Like I couldn't put the window up.
I
but
now
the blanket saved it, right?
It saved
Didn't
it.
get wet.
Well, it saved while we were in the gym.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then we came out and drove home, and it was just pouring rain.
Well, I want to point out here, as maybe just a practical aside for other people that may be actually watching this. There's got to be 3 or 4 of you that you may have just violated the law,
Okay.
because vehicle code violations are the number one reason our very astute and dedicated law enforcement use to pull us over.
Mm-hmm.
And that particular code that you violated,
The heat plate.
so carries, no, the blanket.
Oh, the blanket.
That's called obstruction of view, sir.
I wasn't
And-
driving.
yeah.
It was just parked.
Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So you did
That's
remove it. To
Oh,
drive
I
home.
wouldn't. Yeah, no, it would have.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Well,
The
you're
storm
good,
was
though.
over. The storm was.
You're
I
over
thought
then,
about it.
right?
I thought about it. I thought about driving with the blanket,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can't do that.
No, it's good because you would have been in violation of the
Yeah,
vehicle
so the rain was pouring into the car onto the person in the back seat.
Oh, well, then it doesn't
It
matter.
didn't bother me.
Yeah. Right.
It was just on the girl in the back seat. Yeah. It's fine.
Well, I want to say something else. Interestingly enough, you're paying the vehicle is a 2008,
Mm-hmm.
but you're paying 2022 prices.
Yes,
to
I
fix
am.
it.
Yes, I am.
So
The
that's-
estimate to fix everything that needed to be done on the car was like $2,400.
Oh, that's awesome.
I said, let's not fix everything.
Let's not fix
Yeah.
everything. I mean, dude,
Let's just fix the window, the necessity.
the
Like,
window.
I have to have the window. Like,
right.
I
Because
can't.
you already have a pair of vice grips, like in your toolbox at home, that you can attach to where your handle used to be. I mean, you do
Yeah,
not-
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you fix the window, I can put the window down,
Right.
grab the door, pull it shut, put the window back up. We're good.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, your story of the best and worst part of your day is a natural segue into a discussion about the joy of the inflation that we're all experiencing right now.
Oh,
because
jeez.
because even though your car is a 2008, I'm here to tell you that it is worth more now than it what has been to date as a used vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a daughter that I quite smartly, I decided to, okay, I got 4 daughters, right? And like, your kids turn a certain age, if you're blessed enough to be able to make it happen, they get their driver's license and you get them a car. This time around, somehow, like, the sun shined on me, and I was able to get her. We had a family member with like a nice old like luxury coupe, a nice Saab turbo, and I got her this car. The speedometer reads 160, but I thought, what are the odds
Right.
that this 2005 Saab turbo can still even do that?
You
So
tested it, didn't you?
Well, I won't. I don't want to say anything.
You
I don't
don't
want to say anything.
you don't want to admit yet.
But it
do
still
you?
runs pretty good. Let's say that. Still runs pretty good.
Girl don't know that, does she?
But I just want to tell you, and this family member was generous and fair with the transfer of possession. But I want to tell you that car is now worth like probably, actually, as a percentage of total value, it's probably worth about 35 to 40% more
Mm-hmm.
than it was just a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's across the board. That's like, if you've got a used car, if you've got an extra car right now, you're sitting on a piggy bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's probably worth more.
Well, that's
Right.
why I have 2 cars up for sale.
Right. And that is what, Craig?
Well, and Motown and I were just talking. Motown and I
And
were
you can be
talking about that.
contacted
I
in the
ordered
comment
guys,
section.
So it kind of blew my mind last night because we were sitting on our patio and I was on the iPad and I ordered a car online to be
Yeah, like,
delivered.
did you Carvana?
Yes, I ordered a car online to be delivered to my house on Thursday.
God bless
But
America.
wait, I thought Carvana
That was not a joke.
I
You
thought
were
Carvana
serious.
was like the old school. Remember the old school? Where we went to the Coke machines and you had the bottles.
It's
Yeah,
a
and
And you
vending
put the
machine.
quarter
Craig
in the
bought a
vending machine,
car from
and the
a-
bottle drops down. I
Yeah.
thought you had to go to Carvana,
car-sized Coke
and it drops
machine.
down
No.
for you, and you
No.
pull it
No,
out.
they bring it to you and they pick
Well,
up your
the
old one.
the
Carvana, a potential sponsor.
you
of the
could,
show.
but the risk you take on that is just like your Twix bar being caught,
Yeah.
stuck on the vending
ledge.
machine
Yes.
ledge. Like,
Right.
just jump.
You
Yes.
can't get your Twix fixed
Yeah,
that way.
you can't rock the vending machine to
Right.
get your car
Right.
to fall out.
So
Right,
explain
'cause
this.
it will,
So they-
it will still stick on the.
Yeah,
little-
it'll still
the little
yeah. So
twirly
they
thing.
deliver it to you now. They just deliver it to you. They fix all that and they deliver it to your
So
house.
how's the driver get back home? Does somebody follow him?
So let me. So
I'm not
Well,
worried
hey,
about.
well,
I'm
I
not
mean-
worried about the driver. I just want my car in my
Right.
driveway.
So you
Right.
ordered another 2008 Lexus. Or
Well-
what was it?
Right.
With working windows.
Right. And
The
Infiniti.
working windows is the it's that was my limit.
Right.
Like, it has to have working. windows.
You bought the extra warranty.
Yeah. No, we ordered a car. It's going to be delivered here on Thursday, and then you get I don't know, I guess 7 days to test it out, and then if you don't like it, you send the Twix bar back.
Right. Man, that's great.
Yeah.
So
Now,
we're gonna.
so
we're
It's
gonna
like
try to-
it's right. It's like the scene in Willy Wonka when Mikey is it Mikey? It's Mike.
I think it's Mikey,
Mike
yeah.
TV, right?
Yeah.
TV Mike.
Yeah,
Is that
I
his
think
name?
so.
Mike.
Yeah, remember when
We're gonna go with it, whether
you know,
it
like
is or
it's
not.
woo, you know, and then he appears in the whatever the sound that it makes, and he appears.
Yes.
You know, little Mike.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so like you sending the Twix bar back, that kind of reminded me of
Yeah.
that. You know, like the
Oh,
little
you're talking about
See?
the Willy Wonka.
Willy
thing?
Wonka. I said Willy Wonka. Did I say Willy
yes,
Wonka?
no,
You
no,
did
no.
say Willy
Mike
Wonka.
T.
Did
Yeah.
you say Willy
Yeah.
Wonka?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the scene that I'm talking about, right?
Well,
All
I
white
think
suits
more.
and all?
I think
That's
more
what the Twix bar
importantly.
thing
I
reminded
think
me
more
of.
importantly that our viewing audience needs to know that right here is the chance of a lifetime to buy a 2008 luxury sport utility vehicle.
Yes.
Now, you can
Luxury.
contact Craig in the comments.
Luxury.
Well, and look, and
He's just had these window issues fixed,
Yeah.
and there is a perfectly good skid plate in the back.
In the back. It's
And
in the
look,
back.
Put that
and here's-
right
I
back
kept it,
on.
and look,
actually.
speaking
I
of
kept it.
inflation, Motown and I were talking about this earlier. So, you know, it's like, you know, the whole trading thing in Carvana, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, he's like, well, you know, there's no used cars out there, you know, dealership stuff. And I'm like, well, but everything I'm hearing from people experiencing buying cars and what I'm reading and stuff is that there are obviously a lot of the lots are empty, yes, but a lot of people are getting more than Blue Book value for
yeah.
their used cars.
Well, the
You know,
the private sell price.
And
is
I'm
always
coming
better.
into that, so I've got a dilemma of, hey, if I want to trade in my vehicle right now, do I trade it in because I probably could get some pretty good value out of it?
No.
But going back to the freshman, remember the freshman that I have?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
He
I've
can
got
drive
my-
that
I mean,
grocery
less than a year
getter.
now.
Listen,
He can drive that
like-
grocery getter. Make
no,
him,
like in
make
10 months.
him,
Listen.
make him
We're
appreciate the
we're talking
things you're
10
going to get him.
months. I got a
Yes.
vehicle.
No,
So
no.
do I trade in my vehicle that I might get $7,000
Here's
for?
what you do.
No,
Or maybe
you
I
make
would only
him
get
drive the
2,
mini.
or
No,
do
you-
I
yes,
do I
you
just
do.
still
Here's
get
what
another
you do.
vehicle? And he's driving the Dodge Grand Caravan.
Right.
Grocery
But I want to tell
getter.
you something.
Yes.
I want to tell you
Yes.
What
something.
do I do?
Do you guys
Look.
know? Do you guys ever heard the word serendipitous?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's a sudden
Can't
and
spell it,
unexpected,
but I know it.
beneficial surprise, right?
Yeah.
Now I know a guy who has a 2008 Infiniti. It's just an extra car. Now, if you were to have
know a guy?
access to this vehicle,
He knows the guy.
you could have the turnaround time you need to do a private sell
Yeah.
on a vehicle
Yeah.
and get more money than your trade-in, because they always get you on the trade-in,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. I know.
and to get the other vehicle you want, and then boom, 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 you work this all out.
Right.
I'm just saying, that's a
He
possibility.
knows a guy.
I know a guy. He just recently told me his story, and I'm thinking I'll put you in contact with him.
Well, that's another option. I mean, I've got some dilemmas coming
Because
up
you're
in the
going
next
to
10
probably make a
months.
couple more grand
Right?
than you would have a couple years ago.
I mean,
That's all I'm
so
saying.
no,
And listen,
maybe Link. Maybe
you go to your friends in Rushville and have some new tires put on that thing. And
Yeah.
it's off the shelf like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some-
Hey, let's
What's
move
next?
into some outrageous claims.
Just claims.
Yeah.
I dig it.
You got an outrageous claim, Link?
Well, I gotta honestly say, I can go right to it. I've got a couple different ones. I've got a couple more complex or less complex versions of a couple different things. But my outrageous claim is this. This is the one I'm gonna go with. Smartphones make you dumber. Okay? Now listen. You hear all this talk about how you know, like you hear
Well, sometimes
Elon.
I think they do, right?
Well, right. Well, Elon Musk, right? For example, I like Elon Musk. He's like, I think he's a influential kind of he's one of these catalytic people. You know, he's bringing a lot of necessary change, and he's on the vanguard of technology with space science and travel and automotive stuff. But and he talks about like how, you know, basically like and he warns us about the development of artificial intelligence And, the analogy or like the baseline metaphor is like we're already basically all cyborgs, right? Because we have access to information like at our fingertips.
Yeah. Right.
So this is separate from us.
Are we a
But
T1 or a T2 cyborg?
well, I'm not sure about that because I think the classifications might change depending on what happens in Europe. But I will say this. This is apart from us, but we have such an interface and we have access to everything immediately that in essence we acquire a, an expanded and more supreme intelligence than we would otherwise possess as mere humans. Okay, so if that's the premise, then these things being an extension, an expansion of our own brain power, Elon's suggestion, because he's doing the research, is that eventually this kind of technology will actually be implanted. Like we'll have this. It's already. I mean, it actually exists. Like they're actually already doing it in very rare.
Wait,
and
are you
limited
talking
cases.
about the like? Didn't we see a video? Are you the video on this? Are you talking about the chip thing that was like
Yeah.
embedded
So
into people?
right. But I mean, there's all kinds of different things where we can augment our physiology. Well, that's a rabbit hole. But what I'm saying is, for now, these things are called smartphones. We pay a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
They enable us in a lot of ways to have access to information, and in that way expand our intelligence. But I'm just here to tell you, my outrageous claim is these things make us dumber. Because, case in point, go to any four-way stop. How many times have you been at a four-way stop, right?
Yeah.
And there's four of you there,
Yeah.
and at least one of you doesn't know when they got there. Like
They don't even know that they're there.
They don't
I
know
just
that
had
they're
that
there.
happen today.
They don't know it's their turn. And listen, the default option when you are so, and this is the thing, when you are so reliant on everything, like this is a total distraction. You're just like, you got your nose in it. You can't put it down. You're at a four-way stop. You don't know when you got there or where you are. So what do? You wave the guy on. How many times do you show up to a four-way stop and the guy's like, oh, dude, I'm in a four-way stop. I didn't even know I was here.
I
So
was
you know
just
what?
there
You
today.
just go ahead and go.
Yeah.
That's my outrageous claim, dude. You no longer have to find your way anywhere. This thing will take you there, my man.
Hey.
And that means what? You do not have to learn the way.
Look.
You are
Yeah, you don't
shown the
you don't
way.
have to navigate at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So in how many ways can we extrapolate, right, that scenario
Hey, I've listened.
into what
Look.
we do and how we live our
I've
life?
thought about that whole scenario.
These
the whole
things
map
are
thing.
making us dumber.
I
not
thought the whole
smarter.
map thing going to freaking Holiday World. It's
Yeah,
like,
man.
you know, when you leave from here, and there's no easy way to go to Holiday World, right? You're
Right.
going down the boonies of Santa Claus, Indiana.
You're going south, and
But you know what?
there's one way to get there.
I found it because of my smart dumb phone.
But you will not
Right?
have to remember the way
But-
because you know it will show you the
You're
way
right.
the next time.
And the thing is, and well, I did learn that the Simone,
Simone.
that the phone was smarter than me when however long ago it was, and I had a really good idea of where I was going, but I still wanted to use the phone.
Yeah.
And then it rerouted me, and I thought, I'm not going that way. I'm going this way. But, well, guess what? You know why it rerouted me? Because of some damn wreck or construction or something.
Right.
So even though it may have, but so it knew. So
Yeah,
I
and
thought.
you wind up in Pittsburgh.
So I thought I'm never going against the phone again, right?
Right.
So I thought it was, go like Holiday World, down the boonies, you're going, it takes forever, whatever, and it sends you down freaking,
Yeah, that's
I mean, you're just winding down through the
Right,
hill
it's
jacks,
not always the
of
smartest
southern
way.
Indiana. And I thought back to good old Lewis Lee, and I thought, I remember all the trips we took, and I thought the damn Atlas comes out, right? And Shooter probably did the same
You
thing,
find
right?
your way.
Shooter's opening up his Atlas.
Highlighters. Yeah.
Lewis
Yeah.
is opening up his Atlas, and it's like, I mean, the roads that we've taken because of our smartphone, aren't on the atlas.
Yeah, dude.
Right? So how
Or
do we,
they're on the atlas,
How
but
do
the
we-
smartphone doesn't know about them.
how do we make it from here to Knob Noster, Missouri?
Trial and
Right?
error, my friend.
Many
You just have to
years
find your
ago
way.
on vacation.
Yes,
We made it.
Yeah.
we made
Right?
it.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
smartphones will tell you every single direction to go
Yes.
to make us dumb.
And I'm here to tell you, you will never, how many all-you-can-eat biscuits and gravy breakfasts have you passed up because your smartphone sent you the
A
most
different way.
logical, most efficient way,
Right.
instead of you just finding your way, and you don't ever end up in name a town, man.
Small town USA.
Small town
Yes.
USA,
Right.
where Betty and Bob own that place, and it's Sunday morning, and you're playing hooky from church, and you've been camping Friday night, and now you just need something to eat, and they got all you can eat biscuits and gravy for $4. Man, you can't get anything for $4. A pack of gum is $1.89, man. Like, so you get a plate of biscuits and gravy for $4. I mean,
Yeah.
you're making out. I don't know
Right.
how they do it. They're losing money.
You're getting one for at the restaurant and to take home if it's
Yes.
$4.
You're taking home.
Oh, man.
I mean, my hypothesis is that Bob is using this place as a tax write-off. You know, like he's got to lose money somehow because he's sitting on such a retirement nest egg that if he doesn't lose money, he's going to get taxed. So, I mean, that's the dilemma of the prosperous working man. I mean, how much money are you allowed to make?
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, smartphones make us dumber. And I'm going to stand by it. You can't back me down from it. It's a matter of personal discipline. Guys, the more we rely on these things, the dumber we get.
Well, just
You gotta learn
just
how to use
consider
them.
just consider the Dewey Decimal System and how we had to, we had research. What was our junior year of high school? We had to go do
Yeah,
a research
do the-
paper, and you had to
go
go to the library and
term
look it up
paper.
in the
Term paper, yeah.
Dewey Decimal System and research and
I mean,
keep note cards. You actually wrote out your note cards and
when's the last
And
time
listen,
our
John-
kids have heard Dewey
John
Decimal System?
Yeah,
well,
and
Kramer
Dewey-
said on Seinfeld what a crock that was.
There-
The Dewey Decimal System. What a scam that was. Boy, this Dewey guy really cleaned up on that deal.
Some nefarious things going on with Dewey. I'm just here to tell you. Get on the internet. Everybody knows that it's totally true. Everything you find on it. I'm just going to tell you. John Dewey. Man, I think he'd like to wear it.
I mean, think about it, though. We had to get ourselves up out of class, follow the teacher, go to the library,
Right. Find the hidden information.
go to the damn kiosk,
Uncover
let's
the-
call it,
Pull
Yes.
the
pull the
cards.
drawer out.
Yeah, the card catalog.
Like Bruce Almighty, when he pulls it out, it just keeps going, and he doesn't believe, that
Right.
it's God. So he's looking at all of it. I mean, we had to pull that thing out. I mean, kids today have no idea,
No idea.
what
Listen, dude.
Dewey and the decimal system was all about, right?
There was a time on planet Earth where if you didn't have a disc in your pocket made of copper and nickel that had the equivalent monetary value of 25 cents and access to a magic box with buttons on it called a telephone booth, you could not find a ride home from the skating rink.
I mean,
You could
Right.
not go to the basketball game with your buddies after practice at another school.
I mean, isn't
and
it
call their
crazy?
house.
I mean, how outrageous is it that all of our kids, and B included, especially B, have no idea
Dude, no.
what a telephone is?
Dude, they're all like
unless
little.
they're watching a movie.
Yeah, they're all like little
An
Wesley
80 or 90s
Crushers.
movie, right?
We live in Star Trek world right now.
I mean, I remember, look.
Hold on, dude. I got a
look,
phone call. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, and here's the
no,
thing, too.
I'm
Look,
in the middle of a podcast.
I mean,
Yeah. Okay, I'll call you later. Bye.
and who knows how it works now, but I had an aunt that was deaf, and I remember the days of how we communicated to her was when she would call, you grab the phone, you grab the telephone,
Put
and
it
you
in
had,
the
and you had this little,
special
you had this little
adapter.
typing box,
Yes.
and you sat the phone on it,
Yeah.
you
and
know. with
It
its you said
transcribed
it, yeah. Yeah.
the word.
And I remember the letters GA as my mom and my aunt are typing, and the GA was go ahead. That's how you relayed to her.
That's
type
how
back.
long we've had talk to text, and they still can't
Right.
make it right.
Yeah, that was talk. Right, that was talk to
Basically,
text.
right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it's talking
And-
into the thing.
And look what we're
it's
doing
spitting
now.
out the word.
I mean, our kids would look at us like we're ancient, right? Trying to tell that story and talk about that story.
The 1900s, my friend.
Yeah, right.
we
yeah.
might as well carve it out of wood, man. I mean, compared to like the technology that we have now.
Man,
Yeah.
What's next?
do you have a claim?
I have an outrageous claim, and since we're in the NBA Finals
Yeah, yeah.
right now with the Warriors and Miami Heat, right?
This is a good one.
Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Boston Celtics.
Yes.
Celtics are one. This tells you how much I watch the NBA. But I will tell you that the Warriors do intrigue me. And I will say that my outrageous claim is that Draymond Green from Michigan State is the best draft pick and the most underrated player in the past 10 years.
Now listen, this is going down on the record. You understand?
I understand.
We've
I
got
challenge
4,
Stephen
5,
A.
6
Smith to
people
come
watching
here,
this.
and sit across the table from me and discount my outrageous claim.
Well, apparently he and KD have been going at it lately. Did you see that latest?
I did.
I
saw something
Yeah,
about
I
it,
saw
about
something
MJ
on that
and
today.
yeah. But
Right.
but Draymond Green, to me, in the little that I have watched the NBA in the past year, but I have watched it in the past couple years, several years. Draymond Green just does all of the things, the little things that I'm a basketball coach myself, but I notice all of the things that he does that don't show up on the stat line are just incredibly important.
So
and I
he's
think
got
that
a firm grasp on the fundamentals.
he does. He has a firm grasp on the fundamentals of basketball, and he gets the ball in the right place where it needs to go. He's smart about his decision making and shooting and passing and just all of those things. He gets the ball where it needs to be. And, granted, he has Steph Curry on his team, which is a great
Yeah.
And
It's
you,
a
resource.
small- it's a
you know what?
small
He's
thing.
been with them, what, 10, 15 years?
I don't even know.
Well,
I
10
think
years at least, and he's stayed with the same
he has stayed with the same team,
Now,
but
there's been some stuff that he's,
I'm not
mouthy- he's
advocating
mouthy,
for the
but-
behavior of Draymond Green.
Right.
I'm advocating for the play of Draymond Green. I think
Yeah,
that
but-
he has brought to the Warriors and to his team over the years just an invaluable amount of intelligence and work ethic, and has just filled the stat lines with things that don't get the glory
right?
of
Yeah,
an NBA player.
Look, I mean,
Some of
could
that
could we say
behavior
that? I mean, probably not on the level of Rodman, but could we say that Draymond Green is like maybe there or what? I mean, he does all the work that Rodman
I think
he does.
yeah.
I mean, Rodman did the dirty work. Rodman was getting 20 rebounds a game. I don't
Yeah.
know that Draymond's getting that, right?
Yeah, if you look
I mean,
at if
just-
you look
he's
at
just that
Rodman's
guy that just does.
if you look at Rodman's stats
not
over the
scoring.
years, you're just going to be mind blown at the amount
Yeah,
of
people-
rebounds that
people
guy
underestimate
got.
that.
Oh yeah.
From year one to however his last year of the
And-
NBA,
and
and you find that Rodman figured out his niche. Rodman was like, I'm not going to be the scoring guy.
Yep.
I'm not going to be that guy for
From
this
the
team.
Pistons to the Bulls, I mean,
But
right?
he'll be indispensable.
Incredible.
And for those of you who have not watched The Last Dance, watch it.
Watch it.
Just for the
Watch it.
story. Just for the story.
Yeah, I think Rodman
about
got remembered
Rodman.
for all the wrong things in popular culture. A lot of trips to Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the way Jordan and Phil Jackson handle that, classic, right?
Yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
were what they were. But anyway, I
Yeah.
digress. Go ahead.
Well,
So,
going back to Draymond and Rodman, I think you're right. They find their niche. They find out what they're good at. I just think that Draymond Green is that guy who contributes in all the right ways to his team and makes the guys around him better, and he recognizes the talent and what he is not. And I
So
think
do you think
I
that-
think in recognizing what you are not is important as a leader. And you know, you
Exactly.
recognize what the strengths are of everyone else, and you know, he recognizes what he's not good at, but what he is good at, and he capitalizes on it.
Well, I mean, I think because think about it, they've been without Klay Thompson last couple of years, or at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Green has already
already
there. I mean, Green between
Oh,
Green
he's
and
established
Curry,
himself,
they're
yeah.
already there. Yeah,
But what
he's
about the
already there.
behavior stuff? Like, I'm out of the loop on that. I didn't
Well,
know.
I mean,
See,
I
like a
don't know
little
what
bit
his
of a
record is
wild
on
child.
tees, but he gets a lot of tees
Yeah, he gets fired
throughout
up.
the season.
He
Yeah,
gets fired
so
up,
he's
but-
a little bit. But how old is he?
I don't know.
How long is he?
Early 30s.
Yeah,
But he's
been in the league at least 10 years.
he's been in the
Oh,
league.
he's been in the league. I thought you
Yeah.
guys were talking about him like he was out
No,
of
no,
school
no,
and-
no.
No,
I'm
He's
saying
been in the
he
league at least
is
10 years.
he has
Okay.
established himself, but he has recognized what his talents are,
Right.
and
okay,
he is
so I get it.
contributing
That
in
makes
those
And a lot of
ways.
people don't give him the credit
Mm-hmm.
that he should get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
those
sometimes
guys.
you get the, sometimes players, you got to think about it, man. They are just on like a world stage, and they get like the wrong kind of attention for the wrong things. I mean, Rodman gets remembered for all kinds of stuff that never happened on the basketball court
Mm-hmm.
in popular culture. I mean, he's a different. He's like it's like a separate personality from
Well,
his career.
But you know what? Think about it. He's been able to go away quietly.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything about him.
Yeah,
since
he's
his
not in
playing
the
days.
news. He knows
Which-
how to do it.
Hey, you know what?
He recently, in the last
Which-
year or two, didn't he go pay? He played like some exhibition game in like Japan or some nonsense for.
I don't know. Did he try to pull a Rocky Balboa?
No, like they paid him like $100,000 to play like 7 minutes or
Oh,
some
yeah.
nonsense at some game.
Well, listen, I didn't have an outrageous claim, but I do now.
Okay.
Okay.
What is it?
So mine is we know Tom Brady, and he supposedly he retired, but he hasn't retired. He's
So
back,
just
right? We know he's back,
Right.
but he's already been given a contract for Fox Sports. You guys have seen this.
Yeah.
We've
Oh,
all
dude,
heard about
you-
this and
yeah.
read this. So he might play one more year. He might play 3 more years. Who knows? He said he was going to play until he was 45. Well, hell, he's 45 now, right? But suppose he came back. So he's already been given that, like a $20 million a year, maybe something close and outrageous to that,
Ridiculous.
right? To be in the booth.
Yeah,
Right?
But they're
Now,
gonna
listen.
tune in, man.
Listen, I mean, they've been trying to recruit Peyton Manning for CBS and Fox and ESPN. And granted, that guy, I mean, has it made. He can do
Oh,
what he
God.
wants, everything, and probably
Yeah.
won't do the TV
So
stuff.
many Papa
Great,
John's.
But, so, hey, good thing for Tom Brady. But look, there's a lot of guys that don't transition from their playing days
Oh yeah, most
to the
times.
booth.
Right.
Supposedly, Drew Brees isn't going to be back with NBC after doing that for a year.
Really?
I just heard that. or
Yeah,
I
but
read
does
that.
any of these guys?
So,
You got to be
I mean,
motivated. Like,
So, like 20 million, just something close. I mean, a guy that, and Tony Romo's making more than him in the booth than he made playing ball, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that's what it's getting to now. Troy Aikman's doing the same thing.
Right.
Granted, Aikman's been retired for 10 plus years. But, I mean, really? I mean, Tom Brady isn't even, who knows what the hell the landscape's going to be in a year with broadcasting and stuff. And you're throwing that
yeah,
at a
but
guy.
dude, he's his
He
own
might step
brand.
up there
you
day
guys.
one of the season next year if he does retire and just sound like a total
Dude.
So
jack,
what's
right?
your outrageous claim that he won't be good?
So I guess my claim is just that my outrageous claim is that, I mean, did they just throw money at him and give him this because it's Tom Brady and they want that name for Fox?
I don't know.
Because
That's part of
because
it,
Fox
but if-
lost because they lost Aikman and Buck as their broadcast booth.
Sure,
So
but
let's
if-
find the best guy
listen.
that we can right now. That the probably the GOAT, right?
Probably the GOAT.
Probably
He's
listen,
the GOAT.
He's the goat, dude. But here's the
Okay,
deal:
but- yeah.
if he has a presence, like you got to think about, man, like he's an NFL greatest of all time quarterback. He can handle pressure. He's not, but as long as this guy isn't nervous when
Right.
the cameras go on, he could show up and spit between his teeth, and they will pay him $20 million
Yeah,
a year,
right.
because
And that-
everybody is gonna watch Tom Brady spit between his
and I don't
teeth,
disagree
dude.
with any of
I
that.
mean, that's just the way.
And I don't disagree with
But
any of that at
what
all.
I
You
like
would
to
think.
think, what I like to think is you're gonna have access to a play-by-play commentator who's going to interplay with all these other like great all-time players, and he gets to stay in the sport
Well,
without
right.
being in the game, and we are all going to get to hear Tom Brady talk about football. Nobody's ever got
Look.
to hear Tom Brady talk about football. We just got to watch him play the game.
That's-
and from the side, I mean,
I think
I'm
that's
just
the whole.
telling you,
That's the
like,
whole intrigue.
So
about
that's
it.
like
That's
they're
why
like,
he's being paid $20 million. Because
Boom.
think about it. I
They're
don't know about
rolling
you
the dice.
guys, but look, if many people remember Bob Knight when he was hired by ESPN, and just that guy breaking down a game, and there's many who do it. I mean, it was just so intriguing because because the way that you listen to a guy like that does the color, and breaks down a game,
Right.
and that's supposedly what Tom Brady will do in the booth.
Right.
And you're right, if he has press, we don't know. I mean, Peyton Manning. That's why Peyton Manning is so intriguing with everything he's ever done, because he's so funny. He's got the presence. He's so interesting.
But he
he's
doesn't
smart.
want to. It's just that
He's
simple.
smart.
He
And
just doesn't wanna
Tom
do it.
Brady could have that.
Right.
But he could get up there day one of the season.
So here's
and
my
lay an
outrageous
egg.
claim. My outrageous
So
claim.
let me ask you this. I guess the outrageous claim may be, what does Fox do if Tom Brady gets up there day one of the season?
They
next
hire
year,
Peyton
2 years,
Manning to come
and
on
he
with
sucks?
Tom Brady.
And he sucks.
and you got two great guys.
You hired
Listen,
Peyton
dude.
Manning to come on with Tom Brady. That is
But you
hands
dude.
down the greatest.
And it could, but
Dude,
you got, but
that's
you got
their
two guys.
own show. They have their
and they
own
could.
Those guys-
damn
They could.
show, you guys.
And they
And
could.
let me tell you something else.
Maybe
The
maybe
greatest
long-
football analysis of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they're going
And
with
as
this.
long as
Who
neither
knows?
one of those guys isn't like Chevy Chase when he got his own talk show, it's a gold mine.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's halfway good, I'm gonna watch Peyton Manning, because here's the deal: everybody and their brother has looked at. I mean, we're from Indiana, right? So it's like you just learn to like hate the Patriots, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't. Tom Brady is.
But you don't hate
so-
Tom Brady as bad now because
No.
he's with the Bucks.
Well,
So
that's
you're-
beside the point.
So you'll probably like him
you
more in the booth.
cannot you cannot dispute, it's inarguable, hate the Patriots as much as you want. He's with the Bucks now, just like Peyton went to Denver and
Right.
all that other stuff. Like, these two guys are they're the two best guys that have ever quarterbacked. I mean, like, and they'll say it to each other. Like, Brady will be like, Peyton Manning, man, he gave me the most trouble ever.
Right.
And Peyton
They-
Manning will just be like, man, Brady's the best, dude. Right?
Hey,
You
and
put
maybe
those
if they
guys, let me tell you what,
if they
I
hit
would
it off,
subscribe.
maybe that's where they're going. Maybe that's where they're going with it. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm just saying.
I think
If
it's
he-
a
I don't-
can't miss.
I don't know.
I think
that-
it's a can't miss with
Absolutely
Brady.
can't miss.
You've already signed a guy who isn't even working for you yet, and you're saying, "Come to us in a year, we'll give you $20 million."
But they already know that he
but
has
you
the
could lay an
personality
egg day
for it.
one.
You
They
guys,
already know he
I
has the
think
personality for
Tom
it because
Brady-
he's been on with the Mannings on Monday Night Football. You know, those guys have got a gold mine with that.
You guys,
Period.
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning could go flip houses on freaking home TV and make $1 bajillion because I would watch Tom Brady and Peyton Manning hang out with each other doing anything, man.
That's going
Like
to be
if
the intrigue.
you knew, like these
having him in
guys,
the
these
booth.
competitors over the years, they were adversaries, but they've always had this mutual respect. I would watch Tom Brady and Peyton Manning like open a garage and fix old cars. Like, I'm just telling you, man.
They're both
Like,
goofballs.
They are.
So they would be outside of football. They're pretty goofy.
I'm
and they
not
would-
saying it's not going to work at all with Tom Brady. I'm just saying. I mean,
but
there-
it
there's
will
never
be the
been
biggest
in the
fail
history.
ever. If-
Probably in the history of sports broadcasting television, I don't think there's been this.
Well, there's never
where
been a Tom
money's-
Brady.
there's never
Money's
been a
been
challenge.
thrown at, and he's not.
There's
and
never. I mean,
they've done this, and they knew.
there's
he
never
already-
been a guy
he
who has done
retired
what
and
Tom has
they
done.
didn't throw the money at him.
Dude, the fact
He
that
went
there's
back,
a guy,
and they're throwing money at him.
the
And
fact
they've already
that,
said he's coming to the booth.
I don't mean to interrupt, man, but the fact
Go ahead.
that there's a guy that anybody could say is better than Peyton Manning, when you know that the level of work and time and that Peyton Manning has put into his game, and for a guy like, I mean, to say that there's anybody better, I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I'm a Peyton Manning guy. I'm not even like a big sports guy like you are, but I'm like a hometown team guy. And man, Peyton Manning, dude. I mean, when you find out like what this guy does, and then that guy's like, yeah, Tom Brady.
Right.
You can't.
I'm not disputing that. It's just I'm just saying. I mean, who knows?
Let
I
me
guess
tell you something. It'll be
wait
the
and see.
biggest. It'll be
Wait
the
and see.
biggest.
We'll find out, right?
It'll be the biggest anticlimactic disappointment ever
Probably
if
close.
Tom Brady, after being able to carry himself through all these Super Bowls and
Yeah.
leading these teams through all these individual games as part of the season, get to the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl, he gets in front of the camera and he chokes.
Just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Drew-
just don't see it. I just don't see
NBC
it.
hired Drew Brees. Drew Brees isn't Tom Brady, but supposedly Drew Brees is out after 1 year. Terry Bradshaw,
It takes. I just think
four-time Super Bowl quarterback. He's been with Fox for 15
For
years
15
now
years.
because he's got the personality. He works
Right.
well with all the guys on the bill. I mean,
But
all
you
that.
got-
So,
But he wanted to
maybe
do
it
it.
works.
Like he was so in
Maybe
love
it
with
works.
football, and he's got that personality. But it's like, dude, some of these guys are driven by different things. And Peyton Manning, man, I mean, they're all bajillionaires, so it's like they do what they want to do, and so it's like if I see Brady as a guy who's going to find a way to stay in football.
and maybe it does. Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I
we
think
could
it's
go
a,
on and
I
on.
think it's
I
a
mean,
can't miss for Fox,
Right.
and I think they're, if it doesn't work with just Peyton or with just Tom, then they'll bring in Peyton, and I
Well,
can't imagine a better
I mean-
combination than Peyton.
man, let me tell you
For
something.
And
I've
Tom
watched-
Brady.
However many years, Peyton Manning has turned down every offer he's had.
Yeah, but
He
I just
did.
don't think
all the
he'll.
money thrown
But
at
if
him,
he had a chance to hang out with
all of it.
Brady and get paid, he could just give it to charity, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's like
Well, to keep the sports theme going here. So for all you IU fans out there, we mentioned this in one of the last podcasts.
nice transition. Let's
I
go
think
there.
I think it was maybe when Woodson was hired, we were going to talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't. Obviously, we've had a year under the belt now with Woodson being the coach, so
And he's had
there's a
some
lot of
bumps.
hype. There's a lot of hype right now with IU because of the class they had coming in, the players they got coming back, and then to top it all off, TJD is coming back. So, I mean, look,
Everybody's happy about that.
2016, 2013, one of those years was when they got to number one. They had all the hype. They got there, and then they flopped in the March Madness. We know that. So, as IU fans, and we all are,
Yeah, you gotta be.
even B, we'll sit. I think B's maybe bandwagon, and he kind of comes and goes.
You could be closet.
I mean,
He could be in the
it
closet.
just
We could say that about him. He's not here.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just depends with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
He's,
Why aren't we
he's def-
talking more about
he's
him?
definitely
since
not
he's here?
diehard like definitely the two of us are. He's not for sure, but he'll say he's a realist, whatever. But so anyway, but I mean, so there's a lot of hype, and there's hype coming,
Now
and
we're
it's
for and
going to be
against.
there. We're still 4 months away from basketball ever starting, but are we supposed to get real excited about what's happening? I mean, because it's hard not to. Part of me says I don't think it's going to be like 2016, 2013, the number one team, all the hype with Yogi and Oladipo and Zeller. Because I just think the whole coaching dynamic and
Yeah,
just
it's a
the
lot.
who they got coming in. I mean, I think it's legit.
Well,
Right.
I think when you come out, 10, 20 miles and take a look at IU basketball from a broader perspective, you're excited about Trace Jackson coming back. You're excited about the nucleus of the team coming back, just from an experience standpoint.
Right.
But I think that you have to really understand that you're the things that really gave you problems the year before offensively are still there.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that you didn't have the go-to guy to knock down a shot.
Yep.
You didn't have the Jordy Hulls, you didn't have the Oladipo you could just give it to and clear out and let
Jordy
him go
Holtz
to
is
work.
back in the
Yeah, so,
program,
but-
but will that translate to
Jordy's not suiting up
right?
though.
He's
That's the
not suiting
problem.
up. He's not suiting up.
And I think back to Jordy Hulls and even Yogi. They I can't recall which year it was, but against Iowa on the road when IU needed a shot, needed a bucket, and Yogi pulled up from 25 feet and knocked it down and sealed a game for him against Iowa.
Right?
You don't have that guy right now. Is what you're saying.
We don't have that guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I
don't you have
don't
that
know right now that we have that guy.
Yeah.
I hope we do. I'm excited about the fact that we can go to Trace Jackson in games, from the get go and ride him as long as he'll take us. But the fact is, he can get in foul trouble, and then what?
Right.
Then what do we do?
Well, and the thing is,
I don't know that we can rely on Xavier Johnson to carry the team or race.
And what doesn't need to happen is all this hype, and here we go. There's all this hype, and then we're right back where we were with like all these guys coming in, and there's no development. There's nothing going on, and we're right back in the same place. So I almost get a sense that just because the transition we've seen in a year with Woodson and where it's gone, even though there wasn't a lot of that shooting, I mean, are we finally going to have shooting there? What's
well,
what's gonna
and
change?
we thought Miller Kopp was going to be the guy coming from Northwestern last year, and he had a rough season. He had a couple games where he hit some shots. I'm not totally erasing all of that. Remains to be seen, and I'm excited about all the guys coming back. I'm excited about Mike Woodson and the defensive philosophy that he's brought to IU, and that's always going back to Bob Knight. That was always a thing that you could always rely on, was they were going to play defense no matter what. And I think that that's there. I really feel good about that.
We
need that guy on the perimeter who's going to knock down shots. We need that point guard who we can just say, I'm not worried about him handling the basketball and distributing the basketball where he needs to go.
That's right.
We need those things.
shooters and scorers.
Yep.
Guys
Yep.
that are going to make the shots and guys that are just going to go to the hole.
You think back to Jordy Hulls, you think back to Loft, even Yogi, his senior year, you were shocked when they missed a shot.
Yeah.
Those were the guys that when they took a shot, they were going to make 45% plus of their perimeter shots, and when it didn't go in, you were kind of surprised.
Yeah.
So we don't have that guy right now.
And the other thing we don't know is with this hyped class coming in, I mean, look, you got some studs that are coming. And Woodson said, hey, freshmen are going to play. I need them to be up to speed quick.
Yeah.
We need our upperclassmen to run with this thing.
But the fact remains they're freshmen.
They are.
They're freshmen.
And the thing is,
in the Big Ten.
can those guys, especially when there's a set starting five, can those guys, like you got Hood-Schifino and you got Renault, that just won a national championship coming from Montverde, right? So if those guys don't start, are they willing to sit the bench and not be pissed off halfway through the season, want to transfer out of IU? We don't know, right?
We don't know.
I mean, how's this going to
Yep.
go?
Yep.
Right? But
It remains to be seen.
I guess we just need to tame our excitement.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
see where we're at come September, October. Getting into the season.
The
And
Big
go
Ten
from
is a
there.
meat grinder, so it's
Yep.
I tell you what, I think we should talk about it on a special episode on a side podcast that we call Crimson and Cream on the Four-Way Split. And you guys
Or-
can talk about all this stuff
Or should it be
about
cream
IU
and crimson?
or Crimson and Cream. I don't know. But I think it's definitely, there's a lot there. There's a lot there, but I have to pee. You guys have been talking about IU for so long
Well,
that
look,
my body
you're right, Link.
has processed
I
the
mean-
beer I've been drinking.
I mean, we're 4
And now
we're 4
I
months
have
away
to
from
walk
basketball.
off set
Hey,
So
it's
and
yeah.
use the bathroom.
I mean, it's
definitely
been a
bring us
long
back
time
up.
since we've had
It's
college
fascinating.
basketball.
Right.
We're excited.
We are excited.
We're
And there-
excited.
And there
Yeah.
are people who are dialed into your conversation.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's great. I
Yeah.
love it. But
Yeah.
I have to pee so bad
Hey,
that I can't.
It's a good
string
welcome back
sentences
episode.
together.
It's the month of June in the Midwest, and we're excited about all the great weather we're about to experience here in the Midwest. So we plan to
the
bring you
weather
more.
has been great already.
man,
And
it's been just
absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Low
it has.
humidity,
I mean, it's like
awesome days. So we plan to have more of these settings for the 4-way split in the future.
Pool
when we
episodes
can
to come.
pool episodes to come. We're about to pull Beeler back from Tar Heel Country. We don't really know what he's doing.
we think
He-
that guy he
yeah,
might
I
come
mean,
back with an accent.
he's-
We're not
he's-
Yeah.
sure.
He's talked about having a family that play for Duke.
It's lame.
We have yet to witness any of his family members
I
playing
don't even
for
know
Duke.
what he's talking about.
So we'll
Yeah.
try,
What are the
so we'll try to have him like show some videos to you guys
Mm-hmm.
witnessing a family member playing for Duke.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it's lacrosse or
But I don't-
pickleball.
Well, Beeler
don't
claims that he
know.
played college basketball for Duke, so it's hard to.
Yeah.
it's
I
hard
don't
to-
know if their hearts
Yeah.
bleed like
I mean-
Jared's do in
I mean,
you
when-
know,
when- I mean, when it-
North
when it-
Carolina. I
I
don't
mean,
know
when-
if that's where he
when
he
it-
maybe could
When a
play,
guy like has
his-
to run suicides because he's the one that shot the free throw
What?
and didn't make it for the team,
What?
so then we all got pissed off and had to
Listen.
run.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't even touch the lines.
He never hit a line.
Listen,
So then we
What
got to
we
keep
do.
running more.
Yeah.
Is there a good school
mean-
in San Francisco or
Anyway.
Seattle?
So
We'll see you on the next 4-way split. It's great to be with you, and we look forward to the next time. We'll see you.
thanks, guys.
Craig, Link, Bruce, we're out.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Welcome to the 4-way split.
Okay, don't do that. Don't.
Man, I like it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or cheese or something. And you think that's
Bacon and
enough?
onion what? You getting a wrap or what are you doing?
No, pizza, homie. Bacon.
Bacon
onion.
and onion
Yes.
pizza?
Yes. Listen, I fly first class. I'm just here to tell you.
Well,
Bacon
all
and
right.
onion.
Then let me look up what all freaking offers there are for Papa John's because I'll probably get something crazy on mine.
Let's do it. Whatever, man. I can PayPal you. I can do whatever.